Bonjour les amis, I hope you've had another really good week. We're still looking at the topic of la vie extrascolaire, and we're still looking at comparing past and present school and school life. But this week you're going to be doing a piece of writing. This is the last time we're going to be looking at this. Once you've done the piece of writing this week, please send it to your French teacher because we'd like to see how you're getting on, see how your writing's developing, and it just helps us then make sure that the next lessons that we do for you are really targeted to what you might be needing as a year group. So today I'm going to ask you to start off with a do now, which is one of the quizzes on forms. If you could follow the link, you should be able to access it through Go for Schools. There should be the equivalent of this PowerPoint as a PDF form that you can access the link through. If for whatever reason it's not working, please contact Miss Price and I'll be able to help you by sending you a different link if this one isn't working. Okay, so what we're going to do to start today's lesson off is a little bit of dictation. Now, we've not done this in a while because it's a bit different as to when we're in school. When we're in school, we do this activity fairly regularly, but it just is helping you put together some really good sentences that you could use in your own writing, and it gets you to think about sort of the breakdown of language and what the different words mean and what you need to put your sentence together. So I'm going to read out some sentences in English, and all the words that you need to put those sentences together are on the screen now. So you just then need to find the correct words to put together those sentences. And mostly they will start off with one word from the top box and then a word either from the left-hand box or the middle box and then something from the right-hand box. Okay? So just listen, I'll read it slowly and I'll read it several times, and remember you can always pause this and rewind it if you need to as well. There are 5 sentences that we are going to do, and I'm reading out in English and you're writing down in French. Number 1. At primary school, I had lots of friends. That's not quite the end of the sentence, but I'll read that bit again. At primary school, I had lots of friends. At primary school, I had lots of friends. But now, I have lots of homework. At primary school, I had lots of friends. But now, I have lots of homework. Question number 2. Before, I used to go swimming from time to time. Before, I used to go swimming from time to time. Now, I've been mean and not included how to say from time to time in here because I want to see if you can remember that yourselves. If you can't remember that bit, just do the bit you can remember. Before, I used to go swimming from time to time. Question number 3. At school, I do dance. At school, I do dance. However, at primary school, I used to play tennis. At school, I do dance. However, at primary school, I used to do tennis. Again, think about how to say however. This is a word that you do know. At school, I do dance. However, at primary school, I used to play tennis. Question number 4. Before, I used to sing in a group with my friends. Before, I used to sing in a group with my friends. Before, I used to sing in a group with my friends. And number 5. At school, I play rugby and football. but at primary school, I was in the football team. At school, I play rugby and football, but at primary school, I was in the football team. At school, I play rugby and football, but at primary school, I was in the football team. Now listen to this as many times as you need to, and when you're ready, we'll allow the video to continue, and I'm going to go on to doing the answers now. So, the first sentence I asked you to translate was, at primary school I had lots of homework. At primary school I had lots of friends, but now I have lots of homework. To translate that into French, we're going to say, à l'école primaire, j'avais beaucoup d'amis, mais maintenant j'ai beaucoup de devoirs. So remember, the word that ends in L, the verb that ends in AIS, is the one that talks about what things used to be like. And if it doesn't end in that AIS, then it's what things are like now. So before, I used to go swimming from time to time, is avant, je faisais de la natation, and there from time to time is de temps en temps. At school, I do dance. However, at primary school, I used to play tennis. Is au collège, je fais de la danse. Cependant, à l'école primaire, je jouais au tennis. Question number 4. Before, I used to sing in a group with my friends. Avant, je chantais dans un groupe avec mes amis. And the last one. At school, I played rugby and football, but at primary school, I was in the football team. Au collège, je joue au rugby et au foot, mais à l'école primaire, j'étais membre de l'équipe de foot. And remember that difference between au collège and à l'école primaire. So au collège is at secondary school, we would just say at school, but at primary school is à l'école primaire. It's important that we remember that distinction. Great work, a tough first activity there. And what I'm going to do now is just get you to revise a little bit of this imperfect tense. So you've got 2 activities on the screen. The first one, which I would like everybody to try, is I would like you to have a go at choosing the correct ending for the sentence that makes sense using the imperfect. So let's have a look at number 1. Je jouais. Remember, we look at the stem, so we take off the AIS, we look at the stem to remember what the verb means. So it comes from the verb jouer, which is to play. If we put that AIS on the end, it means I used to play. And then we've got 3 options: de la natation, France, and au foot. Now, I used to play France doesn't really make sense. But then we've got 2 sports. We've got la natation, which is swimming, or au foot, which is football. Now, we need to remember our rule about the verb jouer. And if we're saying I play, the sport that follows it must have a ball involved. So it's not going to be la natation, it's not going to be swimming, but it is going to be au foot. So I would write out je jouais au foot. Have a go at the next 5 yourself, and if you finish those and are feeling really confident, I'd like you to have a go at translating the sentences on the right hand side of the screen into French. We'll go through the answers to these in a moment. Okay, let's have a look and go through these answers together then. Number 2, je participais au spectacle. Remember, a spectacle is a show. Spectacle, a spectacle is something that you watch, so therefore it's a show. J'étais intelligent. I was, or I used to be, intelligent. Je faisais mes devoirs. So je faisais is I used to do, mes devoirs are my homework. J'aimais, which is I used to like, l'histoire, I used to like history. C'était intéressant, it was interesting. Let's have a look at the translations now. I used to eat a sandwich in the canteen. I've missed out the word sandwich, silly Miss Bryce. Je mangeais une sandwich à la cantine. So I used to play tennis at break time. I just wanted to check that I had translated all of this. I'm so sorry. Je jouais au tennis pendant la récré. I used to do swimming. Je faisais de la natation. I used to watch the Christmas show. Je regardais le spectacle de Noël. I was funny and kind. J'étais amusant et gentil. And it was boring. C'était ennuyeux. So super work there. If you want to send in those answers, especially that first one because I got it a bit wrong on the screen, do send those in to your French teachers. And what we're going to have a look at now is our writing task. So this is what you might get as a 90-word writing task in your writing exam. And we're going to have a look at how to tackle this. I've been trying to do a few sort of exam technique questions with you as we've come towards the end of year 10. And so I'd like us to focus on writing for a little bit now because you've got really, really good at it before we went into lockdown. And I really want to make sure that you remember what it is that we need to do and you still feel confident with how to go about a writing task. So on the box, we've got Tu parles de ton ami français de ton collège en Angleterre. You're talking to your French friend about your school in England. Include. And now you've got 4 bullet points. I'm going to read these out to you, but I'd also like you to make a note of what words do you understand, what do you think those bullet points are about. Une description de ton collège, les matières que tu aimes, ton école primaire, ce que tu vas faire le week-end. Écris, well, you're going to write 90 words in French. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance now to think about what you've understood of this question. I'm going to circle with you the key words that I think you need to understand. So we've got description, collège, tu aimes, and matière, école primaire, and tu vas faire are the key bits that I want you to know. Une description then is, well, actually what I'm going to ask you to do is write down what you think these phrases mean. Now, I want you to try and match up the bullet points with what they translate as. Okay, so une description is a description. Ton collège is of your school. So look at the 4 boxes that have now appeared on the screen. There should be something that says description and school, and that will be what that first bullet point means. I want you to do the same now with the other 3 bullet points. So let's check what these mean. Ton école primaire is your primary school. What you'll do at the weekend matches with that last bullet point, ce que tu vas faire le weekend. A description of your school, as we said, was that first one. And so, les matières que tu aimes are the subjects that you like. Remember, matière is the word for subjects. So now you've got what the bullet points mean. And because it's our 90-word task, we're going to be using the 4 J's. Take a moment now. Can you remember what all of the 4 J's are? Okay, so let's go through what the 4 J's are first of all. We've got j'aime, meaning I like. J'ai décidé de, I decided to. Je vais, I go or I am going. And je voudrais, I would like. Now with all of these, you can use the infinitive of a verb after them, which is why it's so important that we remember them. And they cover 3 different time frames. Okay? Now when we're doing the 90-word writing task, we need to show the examiner that we can write in 3 different time frames. So to do that, we need to work out, okay, which of my 4 J's am I going to use with which bullet point? That means that you need to think about which bullet point might be in the present tense, which one's going to be in the past, and which one's going to be in the future. And some of you will remember there's a specific pattern to this, so have a think now, which of the 4 J's would you assign to which of the bullet points? So let's have a look at how I would do this. I would assign j'aime to the second bullet point because you're talking about the subjects that you like. If you're talking about the subjects that you like, you're already talking in the present tense, but you've already got to use the word I like because you've got to talk about the subjects that you like. I would use j'ai décidé de with ton école primaire, your primary school. Because although it doesn't say something, it's not asking about something that's recently happened, if you're talking about your primary school, that's going to be in the past tense. Because you're not at primary school anymore. Then I would use je vais with a description of your school. Remember, je vais can mean both I am going or I go. So you could say I go to and then say the name of your school and then you've used je vais. And that means that the last one, je voudrais, is going to be what you're going to do at the weekend because that's talking in the future tense. Okay, this is a really good recap if you hadn't quite remembered how to use your 4Js. What we're going to do now then, and this is how I would tell you to do or go about doing a writing task. We used to do it on the board a lot of the time. You've got your 4 bullet points and I've spread them out on the other side of the screen there. What I want you to do is write down all the vocabulary you could think of that could go with that bullet point. So anything that you could think of to describe your school. Any words, even if they're connectives, I'd start off by writing down which of the 4Js you're going to use. But you're not trying to write sentences at this point, you're just trying to write down vocabulary that you know that you could use in there. In a moment, we'll then put those into sentences. Okay, take a minute now, look through your subject knowledge organiser, look through the work that you've done, and think of as much vocabulary as you can to put into each of these bullet points. Okay, I have got some suggested vocabulary for you. Remember, you might have something different written down. That's not a problem at all. But I wanted to give you some suggestions because we haven't done these in a while. So for the first one, for une description de ton collège, I put je vais, grande, je pense que, which means I think that, une piscine, a swimming pool, génial, il y a, une bibliothèque, la cantine, and c'est nul. Pour les matières que tu aimes, j'aime les maths, l'anglais, le français, le théâtre, c'est intéressant. Le prof est sympa. Cependant, je déteste and c'est ennuyeux. You'll notice the first word again is one of our 4Js. Ton école primaire, we've got j'ai décidé de, je jouais, j'avais, faire de la natation, au foot, au basket, beaucoup d'amis, trop de devoirs, c'était amusant and horrible. You've got in here a collection of the imperfect verbs je jouais and j'avais, plus you've got j'ai décidé de. You can't say j'ai décidé de je jouais. You would have to say j'ai décidé de jouer ending er. So you could say j'ai décidé de faire because this is a verb in the infinitive, okay? And the last one, je voudrais, le week-end, aller, regarder, film, avec, ma famille, en ville, manger, regarder, ce sera, drôle, génial. What I'm going to ask you to do now is whether you want to use the examples that I've provided or you want to use your own examples or you want to combine the two, that's absolutely fine. I want you to have a go at writing this 90-word task yourselves now. Remember to organise it as 4 bullet points. So when you write the first bullet point, make sure you've got a bullet point there so it's really clear I'm responding to the first bullet point. Then, instead of just carrying on, when you get to the second bullet point, put another bullet point on your piece of paper and write your answer to the second bullet point. It's a really good way of showing the examiner I've responded to all 4 sections of this really clearly. Have a go, send in what you do, and if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. This is your exit task today. I'm not giving you a forms quiz because I want you to spend a little bit of time on this. Okay, have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Merci et au revoir les années 10.